She is an American citizen and she is missing and she has not left on her own. There is foul play involved in her disappearance.
A Florida woman gone without a trace while spending time overseas, leaving behind only a string of mysterious texts to friends and family.
I feel like I'm living in a dream, like I'm in a nightmare. It's the worst crisis of my life.
Other bizarre clues now coming to light, including her messy divorce and a suspicious person seen blackening out security cameras near her apartment complex.
That we miss her and that we love her and that we just want her back safe and that we're thinking about her every minute of the day.
This is 40-year-old Ana Knezevich. She's originally from Colombia, but is an American citizen who lived and worked in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She'd been staying at an apartment in Madrid, Spain, and was last seen on February 2nd by a neighbor. She spoke to a friend on the phone that night at about 10 o'clock, but hasn't been heard from since. The next day, her best friend, Sana Ramo, received a strange message from Knezevich's phone.
She doesn't do those things. It was worded very differently than how she writes.
Ramos shared the messages with Law&Crime. They read in part, quote, "I met someone wonderful. He has a summer house about 2 hours from Madrid. We are going there now, and I will spend a few days there. Signal is spotty. I'll call you when I get back."
She wouldn't meet a man in the street and say that she's gonna go away for a few days. Like that's not Ana. That is definitely not my friend. Secondly, logistically, it didn't even make sense because she had those plans to go to Barcelona early Monday morning. So she would not leave Madrid Saturday afternoon and state that she would be away for several days when she has already made plans to go to Barcelona Monday morning. That didn't even make sense. So all of these things got me concerned immediately.
Ramos says the messages caught her off guard, and she was the first person to contact police.
It's completely bizarre. I wrote back. I said, what's happening? What do you mean? I got worried and I said, please share your location. This does not sound safe. What do you mean? Are you going to leave Madrid with a man that you don't know? I didn't understand. My messages didn't go through. I got concerned immediately, and then when I heard nothing back from her, first thing Sunday morning, I contacted the police in Madrid.
Knezevich's brother, Philippe Henao, also received similar messages from his sister. He didn't want to speak on camera, but shared a screenshot with Law&Crime. The message to Henao tells the same story, that Knezevich met someone and was going off with him to an area with bad signal. The difference here is that the message was written in Spanish, but Henao says his sister's Colombian dialect doesn't match up with the words written. He suggested it was a message originally written in another language and put into Google Translate. These out-of-character messages came in on Saturday, February 3rd, one day after Knezevich was last seen in Madrid. Days later, an official police report was filed.
The February 5th date is when the official police report was filed that she was missing. We had contacted police on the 4th, but the police advised us to come back on Monday the 5th because Ana had travel plans to go to Barcelona that Monday morning, and the police said, okay, she's gone, we understand. If she does not show up to her appointment going to Barcelona, please return to the police station and file an official police report.
And since the messages were sent, no one has heard from Knezevich.
We were using WhatsApp, and I'm sure you're familiar with WhatsApp, how you can trace, who's getting the messages, if you read them, if they're open. And I have called many times, the phone, it's off, and my messages are not going through. Also, you can see in the WhatsApp chat under the name when the person was last seen online, and that date hasn't changed.
On February 4th, the fire department arrived at Knezevich's apartment to perform a wellness check.
She was not in her home, and the door was locked from the outside. There were no obvious signs of violence or anything that happened inside of the apartment, but the mission of the fire department was to just check if there was an injured person. They do not do any type of, they don't do any investigation for more than that. And they just looked and then they left.
Before she went missing, Ramos says there were no red flags coming from Knezevich. So, leading up to this disappearance, what happened? What were your conversations like with Ana the last times that you were speaking with her before she went missing? Was anything suspicious?
No, we had just spent time actually in Austria. I was there for a few weeks, and since she was in Madrid, I invited her to come and visit me. So she was with me in Austria on January 17th to the 21st. And we also made plans for me to come and visit her on February 8th and stay, for about 12 days. And we were going to travel around. And she is my best friend, so we have, I want to say, daily contact. We were talking about the plans that we were gonna, do when I came. We were gonna take the train and different activities. She bought tickets for a concert. I'm not sure what the band was, but she suggested that we go, and I said sure, why not? So we were just talking about that during the days leading up to her disappearance. She was also out and about looking for a different apartment to stay in because it was a short-term rental that she had. There was nothing unusual. She was happy and she was enjoying her time in Madrid and looking forward to her trip to Barcelona that Monday and looking forward to me coming to visit.
What was her purpose for going to that area? Just traveling or experiencing new things? What was the reason behind all of it?
She was going through the separation with her husband, and they had been talking about that since, on and off. It started last year. So she loves Europe. She has the Colombia. She's from Colombia, so she has the Spanish speaking background. And she had been to Madrid before. Her husband is from Serbia, so I believe during their marriage, they did travel around in Europe, and she really enjoyed being in Spain. So going through the separation with her husband, she wanted to leave Florida for a while and just spend time in Madrid and in Europe.
Knezevich's estranged husband, David, is believed to be in Serbia.
I've been in contact with him. I was in contact with him throughout the week, last week. I believe the last time I spoke to him was on Saturday. Police did speak to him in Madrid. I went to Madrid on February 8th. And next day on the 9th, when I went to the police station, they did, I contacted him from there. And then he called back and they made contact with him to ask about his whereabouts.
And he has no idea where Ana may be?
He says he has no idea. No, he doesn't know where Ana is.
Ramo traveled to Madrid 6 days after Knezevich was last seen. That's when she learned bombshell news from apartment security.
There's a front door lady that's there during the day as some added security, I guess, or watching the front door of the building, and she's there till 7 o'clock. When I was in Madrid, we went to her building, me and one of her other friends, to see if we can find out anything else. And this lady tells us that on the night appearance, Friday night, a man in a helmet spray painted the surveillance cameras outside of her building with black paint, and also took the opportunity to enter the building when people were exiting and spray painted over the surveillance cameras by the elevator. And then he left the building. And this was about 30 minutes before she was last seen.
Are investigators saying that those two instances, her disappearance and this suspicious man, are related potentially?
No, not that I have heard, because all week, again, they're treating her case. The judge denied entry to her apartment and to get her phone records because they're treating the case as a missing person case. So if that person was a suspect, then that means that they're suspecting a crime, and then it wouldn't be a missing person case.
Ramos says she's been in contact with both the Madrid Police Department and the FBI.
According to the FBI, there is currently no active investigation from the FBI. They're telling me that it's in the hands of the Spanish authorities and they have full jurisdiction over this case so far. And yes, for us, family and friends, we're very disappointed. We're very frustrated because yes, she is an American citizen and she is missing and she has not left on her own. There is foul play involved in her disappearance, and I still struggle to understand the role of the FBI and why American authorities are not doing anything and are not allowed, as they say, to get involved. They can only provide information to the Spanish authorities.
Former FBI agents we spoke to say that's typical protocol when an American goes missing overseas. While Spanish authorities have likely reached out to the FBI's legal attaché in Spain, Madrid police will still lead the investigation. That itself brings another hurdle of challenges.
I'm trying to reach out to the police every day. They don't speak much English, so it's hard for me because I don't speak Spanish. Um, but I did receive a message back from the police today saying we're watching it, because I asked them about the phones. I don't know, I'm not sure what that means exactly, if they are watching her, looking at her phone records. So the language barrier that I experience is difficult because I'm not really understanding what they're saying.
Ramos says she's still trying to spread the word of Knezevich's disappearance, but it hasn't gotten the amount of Spanish publicity she's hoping for.
I know that Spanish media has spoken to her brother, so I'm hoping that it will gain more attention and that more questions will be asked to the police and for them to provide some information about what's going on, what's the course of the investigation. We're looking for answers, and we just want to find Ana.
And the not knowing has taken a toll on Ramo.
We're devastated. We're devastated. I feel like I'm living in a dream, like I'm in a nightmare. I feel like it's still not real. Like I'm even talking to you now, it also feels like I'm in a movie, like this is not happening. I still feel that it's some type of misunderstanding. She's just come back and say that everything is fine. Yeah, I can't describe it. It's a nightmare, and it's the worst crisis of my life.
Do you have any idea what may have happened to Ana?
No, I have no idea what happened to Ana. I think about it all the time, and there's nothing that I can think of. I don't know who would want to do anything bad to her. I don't know. I don't know anything that she had. She hasn't mentioned to me that she has any type of issues with anyone, or that she felt unsafe, or that she felt watched or followed or anything like that. She was just telling me how much she's liking to be in Madrid and how of a wonderful city it is, and she hasn't expressed anything else than that. So this is unbelievable. I can't understand it.
But Ramo does have a message for her best friend. And if Ana is somehow able to see this video, do you have any messages for her or any thoughts?
That we miss her, and that we love her, and that we just want her back safe, and that we're thinking about her every minute of the day.
Knezevich's disappearance is still under investigation. If you have any information about her whereabouts, contact the Madrid Police Department or the FBI. Reporting for Law&Crime, I'm Sierra Gillespie.